How's it going, guys? It's Pride here. Today we're going to be talking about D&D, and it's been a long time since I made a video about D&D. In fact, I think that video had something to do with like the importance of being a level 1, what a level 1 truly means in the D&D world, and like how powerful you really are in comparison to like other mundane people who wouldn't have a shot against you. In fact, I might make more videos like that, going through the levels and how like each milestone of a level, like level 5, level 10, level 15, and level 20 all mean, and how powerful a person really gets when they get to those levels, and how it really shouldn't be downplayed as much, as I see some DMs and even some players downplay those levels a little bit. But that's neither here nor there. This video is going to be about a whole different D&D topic that I've actually been inspired to make thanks to a recent video by Treant Monk, who, if you don't know who that is, amazing YouTuber who makes D&D content. Definitely check him out. He's very good at what he does. But the recent video that he made is a video about how Bane got buffed and Bless has gotten nerfed in the new D&D 2024 rules. Like I said, this is an inspiration because we're not really going to be talking about Bane or Bless, because in my campaign that I have planned, and I'm going to make some videos about those later on, but in my campaign, I haven't seen Bane and Bless get played a lot because the characters are really good at what they do, almost rarely needed, and the stakes are really never at play, at least for them to use Bless anyway. But Bane has completely got off the table, as there's a new spell that came up recently on D&D Beyond in the book of Ebon Ties called Ominous Wind. I'll show it on the screen. I'll just read it to you real quick of what it does. It's basically the exact same setup as Bane, except 1,000 times better. So first off, it's a cast time of 1 action. The range is 60 feet. You need, for components, is verbal, somatic, and material, a crack bone, but truly who cares about the materials unless they're gold cost, right? And then it's a concentration up to 1 minute, and the saving throw is a charisma saving throw. Now it reads pretty much exactly the same as Bane. It says up to 3 creatures of your choice that you can see within range must make a charisma saving throw. Whenever a target that fails this saving throw makes an attack roll or a saving throw, before this spell ends, the target must roll a d12 and subtract the number rolled from the attack roll or saving throw. And at higher levels, such as 3rd or higher, you can target an additional creature for each slot above 2nd. Now, I should probably point out that in this campaign, my characters recently leveled up to level 12, so they can use all the way up to a 6th level spell slot if they so choose to use Ominous Winds on a crap ton of enemies. But anyway, as I said, this spell is completely broken, and a lot of people will even look at this spell and like probably immediately ban it from their games. And I wouldn't blame you. If you're playing a basic game, or if you're playing something a little light, you probably don't want something that is going to automatically nag a d12, potentially a 12, from any roll your boss monsters make. I, on the other hand, am completely fine with this for a number of reasons. One, I've always have been a big spell like nerd when it comes to D&D. Played wizards, spellcasters are the best thing ever. And so every time new spells or like new magic items came out on D&D Beyond and basically became official to use, I went nuts for it. That's me as a player. So I would like to also see that as a DM, which I am now. But that's not even like the main reason. The main reason is this campaign is a little special. I've been using this campaign more as a test. This is one of my first real campaigns that I've done. I also wanted to experiment with it a little bit. And what I mean by experiment, I wanted my players to be as busted as they think that they possibly can and still have like a challenging run. But to go even a step further in the experiment, I wanted it to be in a module setting that D&D Beyond has provided already. The setting is the Dragon of Icespire Peak modules. Running through all of them and letting my characters progress and get further along in those modules, and seeing how much homebrew and how much power and strength is needed to actually break the module bit by bit, piece by piece. And once the module starts breaking, then we can see if we can patch it up a little bit with other monsters, and more updated monsters at that, from different editions. And in this instance, be a book from like Ebon Tide. Once D&D has actually started allowing third party to be on their website, I have been using these books for, well, the monsters. And even as a player, I've been using and getting things from each of these books, and really like changing up my characters. And for the campaign, I have been updating the monsters, so I'll use things from Kobold Press or maybe MCDM's books to spice things up and to really have a variety of monsters that I don't have to spend hours or however long it'll take to make myself, and then also balance it myself. That takes a lot of time, takes a lot of thinking about what my characters are doing, and I can just simply just use these other monsters to get that done. And so with the additions of all these monsters, I have allowed my characters to use items, as you can see on the screen, or spells that came from these books. And when I tell you that when I first saw Ominous Wind, I was a little shook by like a lot, because when they first used this, they made new characters because the last characters died. So the 2014 characters died just in time for the 2024 characters to roll up. And it just so happened to land just in time for a part in the Divine Contention where the Green Dragon shows up, the possessed one at that, and starts attacking the town. And these guys just showed up in the middle of the night on boat, and then by dawn they're being raided by zombies on the left and attacked by barbarians on the right, and a dragon descends from the sky. And so these 3 characters in my campaign do what they do and split up. Now I'm thinking it's going to be a pretty bad time for them, but they actually thought before they acted and made sure that they got all the bonuses and buffs from all the characters that they can possibly need and went at it. And when they came face to face with the dragon for the first time, the druid cast Ominous Winds, and I didn't want the dragon to use his legendary resistance just yet, even though these characters have high DCs. So he didn't have a really great, amazing chance of passing, and I rolled really bad at the time, so he failed. But I didn't want to use a legendary action just yet, because the book says that the dragon leaves to fight later on if it gets down to his last legendary action, and or if it loses half his HP, which both things actually did happen, which is crazy. But as my player uses Ominous Winds for the first time, and I hear the description for the very first time, because even though I pre-used the book, I haven't like checked every single thing, and I'm just like, yeah, go ahead, use everything, use anything. We're trying to break all types of logic here. I want you guys to be as strong as possible, so that way when the monsters, who are also a lot stronger than they should be, fight back, you guys don't die. So when she uses Ominous Winds and I hear it for the first time, I'm like, oh, that's a spell. Yeah, that a D12, you say. Oh wow, okay, that could be problematic. Your DCs are 19 now. Okay. I was like, that might actually be a problem, but you know what? It goes through. And for the most part, it didn't really come up too much, and he was still, the CR23 dragon, was still kind of kicking their ass and almost one-shotted a character. But the druid, again, ultimate support, kept the team up. But Ominous Winds did end up leading the dragon to its downfall, as it failed one saving throw and it had to use a legendary action, and then another saving throw happened on another turn and I couldn't use another legendary action, so he just had to fail and ended up plummeting from the sky, because it also knocks you prone, and he did not have hover. And that was also at the same time where there was enough damage to weaken the dragon and it having to run away. I'll get more into that story when I make a official video for it, but for now, that's basically how that ends, and that's the first instance of this amazingly powerful spell of Ominous Winds. The second instance is when they are now in the lair of the Code of the Dead for Mercule, and the druid uses Ominous Winds on 3 people, and that was when I first realized that this spell can affect multiple people, and it's a 2nd level spell. Now, it was at that point where I was thinking, dang, Kobold Press really made some crazy spells, and I was also thinking, they must really have some cracked monsters in this book for them to like make these spells, and like everyone in Kobold Press to be okay with these spells. Spells like those are definitely made for high powered playthroughs, which is perfect for this D&D setting that my players are in. But back on topic, the druid ends up using Ominous Winds on more than 3 characters because they upcasted. And like I said, that was when I first realized that it is not just single target, even though it's a D12. So it's just like Bane in the fact that it can at base target 3 people. However, I also realized that as they were fighting a whole group of people, that she just like Ominous Winds like 6 people. They're all fucked. And then there was Sickening Radiance going on, and I was like so thrown for a loop that I completely forgot that most of these characters, or most of these monsters that they're fighting, really don't care about Sickening Radiance, because the main ability of Sickening Radiance is the exhaustion, which is insane in 2024 rules, by the way. So I forgot that for like a round or 2, and then I was like, oh wait, actually these guys have no exhaustion because they're undead. They can't be exhausted. Not really there. And then the Ominous Winds on 6 people happen, and I was like, oh yeah, this might be broken. But Nope, they did it on undead and is actually pretty perfect. That went off on some undead creatures. This is a different fight though, which I shall not say because they haven't gotten there yet. They might watch this video. That probably would be a little bit more devastating. As busted as Bane might be nowadays and how like little Bless does for people because of the new monsters doesn't really affect Bless like that, Ominous Winds is pretty up there when it comes to busted ability, and Bane and Bless aren't even on our radar in this type of campaign. Now, man, I can tell you, just seeing the preview of what a new ancient dragon can do compared to the old ancient dragon, they might need all the help they can get, to be honest, because these monsters are looking quite different and quite up to par, in my opinion. But Ominous Winds might equal out everything, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna use it from now on myself, obviously with my DM's permission, because man, what an amazingly busted spell at such a low level. It could be like the great equalizer, in my opinion. It could just make any hard thing just become manageable. Maybe not easy, because you still can take that damage. You still can like lose a saving throw, all that good stuff. It can tip the scales heavily in your favor if you use it right. And if some DMs out there, I won't name them, decides to hit you like a CR6 and you're like barely level 3, this spell could do something for you. So yeah, that's it. I just wanted to talk about Ominous Wind and how it's going in my campaign. That's all I wanted to do. All right, see you guys later. Peace.